All right. Hey guys, so I want you to welcome to a special edition of the Practical Wealth Show and the Small Business Owner Spotlight. So listen, we have been talking for 15 minutes and Lynn Williams has already blown my mind. So
Okay, so
so we've agreed to let her beat me up and tear apart my LinkedIn page. So this is all about LinkedIn. And so I'm kind of going to give her the screen and let it rip. And Lynn, if you want to take a couple minutes, tell them about your background, and then we can. I
go
have
from
no
there.
ego. Yeah, I have no ego when it comes to this. So just so you know, so I'm going to be
All right.
listening and taking notes.
So basically, I wear two hats. Hat number one is I write resumes, LinkedIn profiles, and use keywords very strategically. And that's what I do for a living. So, in other words, I transform personal brands, both on paper and online. And that could be for job seekers, entrepreneurs, small business owners, as well as employed professionals. So that's hat number one. Hat number two is I'm executive director of a 501c3 nonprofit called Great Careers Network. It's actually called Philadelphia Area Great Careers Group, but we DBA it as Great Careers Network.
Mm,
So the website for that is greatcareers.org. So what do? We run 18 to 25 events a month. Typically, they're online so that it's accessible to everybody, and
hmm
it's career education. So we may have some topics that are specialized for job seekers. We have
hmm
some that may be more career management for our employed individuals. And then some may be the score presentations that I'm doing, which are obviously small business and entrepreneurial. But because of what I do, and we have a meetup group of like 7,900 people, we basically have all kinds of a mix of people come to all the meetings because um, you can always learn transferable skills. So, for
hmm
example, I may be teaching about snazzy graphics, and there may be some techniques that I may teach that a graphic designer didn't know about because I'm trying to teach job seekers some free tools to use,
hmm
right? So tap in to greatcareers.org and learn more about us. We have an events page. All our social media is at the bottom of the website. So that's me in a nutshell.
I love that. So one of the things that we teach, I just want to kind of connect these dots, is that we teach at Practical Wealth a money operating system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the framework of it is earn money, bank it, borrow it, spend it, repay it, right? But what Lynn does, like you can't, if you can't, I always tell people I can't steer a parked car, right? So you have to be productive, right? So if you're a business owner, there are ways to be more productive. She's going to show me. And if you're listening to this and you're working and you want a job or a better job, then she's also for you. And then now, once you have money, I'm gonna show you how to save it, minimize your taxes, da da. But I like to talk about. I don't like talking about cutting. I gotta cut. I can't go to Starbucks. I can't go to. I don't. I'm not in the lifestyle reduction business. I want you to think in terms of expansion, and
Cheers.
right. And you got to expand. You can't shrink your way to financial freedom, right? So you need to grow your top. If you saw yourself as the CEO of your life, then the CEO's job is to grow your business or your personal economy. That's your job as a leader in your family, as a leader
Mm-hmm.
of your company, and that's your number one job, right? Probably number one, two, three. And personal brands. Richard Branson's personal brand is bigger than Virgin, right?
Yeah.
And I used to didn't believe that, but now that's I always thought branding was the colors or this and that, but I've evolved. So now I'm all with the branding thing. So anyway, let's go.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen, and um, I'm going to do what people sometimes call shred Curtis.
Going to
So
shred Curtis.
yeah, he's agreed to be shredded, so to speak. So this is constructive criticism for him. All right. Now, I love that he has a custom banner. If you're driving down the freeway and 60, 70 miles an hour, and you see a billboard and it's white or the standard default gray on LinkedIn, well, that's wasted advertising. So I
Mm-hmm.
like that Curtis has a banner. However, do you see how it says subscribe now is down here?
Hmm.
He could better place that by the verbiage and move that up above his head. Um, so I think it would look a little bit better. And when you think about LinkedIn, it's, available on all kinds of mobile devices. So when that shrinks down on a mobile device, I'm not sure if the subscribe now gets a little bit more covered or maybe not. I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
I would revamp this. Now, here you have Curtis May, host of Bah. Um, you don't necessarily need to have your name in the banner. I might put more your value proposition or your branding, personal branding statement, or what I like to call unique selling proposition in here, as well as
Point to
maybe
that. Where are you talking about now?
in the banner.
Oh, at the top where
Yeah,
my
you
picture is.
see,
Okay.
you have your name right here, but you don't
Yeah.
necessarily need to have the name. So the banner is really important real estate. And, I'm old AF, old and fun. Okay. So I like bigger text, especially when it goes on a mobile device. So if you
Yes.
take the name out and you expand the text and get the messaging right, um, I just think that could be redone and that could be improved. All right.
Okay.
Now we're going to talk about your picture. So you're showing way too much body. Your picture looks a little bit grainy. Now, I just taught this SCORE workshop on Monday. It was called LinkedIn Tips to Build Your Brand. And I pulled up a slide from the deck specifically to show you what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So here, let me share this. Whoops, I don't want to share that. Wrong thing. I want a slideshow. So over here is Charles. Do you see how Charles, his picture is grainy and his head is popping out of the LinkedIn circle, right?
Yep.
When he went and got a professional photograph, look at that. This is what it should look like. From the bottom of your tie on up, that's the headshot. LinkedIn is about a headshot. So 60% of the circle should be the headshot and it should be the bottom of the tie on up. So let's go back to you. So here you're wearing a yellow tie. Here you're wearing a green jacket. Here you got orange and you got gold. So I don't know what your brand colors are.
Huh.
You want to have your brand colors in your banner and your logo and what you're wearing look complementary. All right. Now,
Who would
by the
fix that? Let's say we want, let me stop right there. So is that part of your service or is
yes.
that okay? So we could fix that. You could fix that.
Oh, easily. Yes.
All
Well,
right.
I
Okay.
can't fix the photograph.
I got to get a
Yes, I
headshot.
know lots of people uh you know need professional headshots and they
Yeah.
can get them in two ways. You could support your local professional photographer,
Hmm.
which I like to do. You know that Anne Marie Casey comes to the Delco Meets for Business meeting. Guess who took my picture? Anne Marie Casey, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is from 2021. I think it looks still like, but I'm going to go back to her. I know a lot of AI pictures exist, and you're going to see one in a second here. Wait till my blue one comes up. Oh, that's an AI generated picture, obviously. And that's an AI generated picture. But there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing like the real McCoy. So you can go to a professional photographer and you have lots of different things to choose from. The other thing is Free Library of Philadelphia, Chester County Library in Exton. I know they have photo sessions, but you're not going to get tender loving
Are
care
you
and the
moving that
touches.
or is like
No, no, no. I have a
okay.
premium account and it's my banner. It moves on its own
Huh. Okay. All
every
right.
every seconds. Sorry, I won't make you dizzy. Okay, so I like that you have a plain background, but this is not a headshot, and I don't need to see your whole body.
Okay.
Okay, now name is fine. That works. and you've verified your account. That's great. Now, here you have, we help our clients to create and use their own private family banking system. I'm sorry, but I am not a fangirl of the word help. I'm going to go to greatcareersphl.substack.com. And here I actually wrote an article about that. And here it is. Stop introducing yourself, start positioning yourself. Why I help is everywhere on LinkedIn, and what your headline, about section, resume, and cover letters should say instead. So if I were to say to you, "Oh, I help change diapers. I help clean the toilets. I help you change your LinkedIn." Does that sound as spicy as I transform personal brands on LinkedIn? What do you want to hear, right? So if you read, I'm a former K-12 teacher, and I still carry the red pen. Yes, I do. And then here are a couple sources that I put in my articles, but I will be, I circle those I help things. Now, you want to be known for something. You have 220 characters in your LinkedIn headline. I like to start with a title first, and I don't mean CEO, president, owner, founder. That's not what people are searching for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's more for me about a title, keyword, 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 and then the USP at the end. So I would put, generating
I
client
love
wealth.
how you speak my language. Let's talk about with the USP because we
Yeah.
did a profit lab in June, our first profit lab for business
Mm-hmm.
owners. And here's what I call it. You tell me if it's different. So I got it from Dan Kennedy. Why should I work with you versus any and all other choices I have, including doing whatever I'm doing now or doing nothing? Why should I work with you? And I
Oh,
found if I can't answer that within 90 words or less, I'm a commodity.
yep.
Okay.
So, okay, we're going to go to greatcareers.org. And in the little search bar, I'm going to type in USP.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I'm a former teacher, I taught special ed, gifted and talented, and everything in between. And everything was individualized. I had individual education plans and gifted individual education plan. And so
Mm-hmm.
when I work with clients, I think this is the gifted career plan, and document for the adult. So here's an article that explains USP, PBS, or VPS. So here's unique selling proposition, personal branding statement, value
Mm-hmm.
proposition statement, and whatnot. So, I help people create I help, here it is. But
Uh,
I do help people create their USPs, and we use AI. You don't
okay.
have to take AI for what it is, but you can certainly, use it as fodder. So you have an idea that sparks an idea, and then you take it from there. But you
Mm-hmm.
need to start out with, what are you? Like, what do you do? Right? If you're a painter, you need to put painter. If you're an
Mm-hmm.
electrician, you need to put electrician.
Mm-hmm.
Why people are searching for certain keywords. So the next thing is you
I'm
have
wasting
land.
a lot of stuff. I'm not. One of the things let's back up. You're kind of looking at it like people thought it was an online resume, but this is really your landing page.
Yes,
Could be
exactly.
your landing page, like your lead capture. Yeah.
Do you see Lynne having a website right now?
Mm-hmm.
No, this is my landing page. I
Because
have,
a website in of itself is, oh, you need a website. Website is like having a billboard in the middle of the Mojave Desert. In of itself, if you don't have things driving people toward it, it's better to do this.
I I have the shell of my website built, but I have to write the content.
Yep.
It's all lorem ipsum right now, and I'm going to get to that. But I've had, some client work that came in, and I got to focus on my clients first.
Right.
But with 27,000, ish connections, this is it. This right now
A
is my
machine. Yeah.
landing page.
Yeah.
This is where I do my thing. All right. So Lansdowne, don't do that. You
Okay.
need to change that to Greater Philadelphia. So let me show you how to do that, and I'll do it on my LinkedIn profile. So up here's the little pen in the top right, and I'm going to go down, and I've got 19301. That's my office, and
Hmm.
it would have come up as Paoli, Pennsylvania. I don't want to peg myself in a little hole of a city. I want the whole metropolitan area, right? Now, so where do I get that from? Well, LinkedIn is a database, and LinkedIn has something called a GitHub, and I'm going to show you. It's this article with the green on it, the little squiggly doos on it. There we go. So LinkedIn has something called Career Explorer, and if you scroll down here, click here to use the GitHub. So is my drama queen. This is not on the LinkedIn website. This is LinkedIn's GitHub. So you're going to
Okay.
scroll down, 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 down until you get to Atlanta. All right. Now, if I tried to put it, oops, let me get that out of there. If I tried to put in Lansdowne, there's nothing coming up in the drop down menu.
Yes.
If I tried to put in Philadelphia, the main city, that's not even in the drop down menu. LinkedIn goes by major metropolitan areas. And you don't want to have United States. Yes, even though you may work remotely, you want to like have a home, large major metropolitan area. So here you want, greater Philadelphia area. So you do the same thing here. So that's why mine says greater Philadelphia area. And it's because of the GitHub. Now, the other thing is, like, do you want to give me like what kind of title would you give yourself?
So I would
You're
say
not a
I'm a
financial advisor, right? You're
no, no, I'm more of a financial strategist.
okay. So here's standard titles that LinkedIn has. Financial, there's no strategist. Let's do financial planner. So
Let's
what
you know, let's do financial planning specialist. Or is the other one? Another,
okay,
yeah, down the
planning
road.
specialist. Okay. Right here are the skills that LinkedIn is suggesting that you have on LinkedIn if you are a financial planning specialist. And then over here are other titles with skills to build. Now, if folks in the audience are job seekers, they need to know about this platform. So here are jobs you can find on LinkedIn with this job title and connections on LinkedIn and the match of the jobs. So people should absolutely take advantage of this GitHub. And you're going to have a whole different menu here than another financial person, right? Um, Job title. So, play with that GitHub. Again, this is all my articles are either on my Substack or my LinkedIn newsletter. So how do you find that? I'm going to make it easy at the get-go here. Here at the moment, until LinkedIn takes this away, is more gobsmacking resources. So here is my career readiness camp for younger folks. I got 2 more sessions in August. Here's the nonprofit website. Here are my upcoming speaking events. Here's my Substack. Boom, right there. You can subscribe. It's free to subscribe. And then here is my LinkedIn newsletter. That's free to subscribe. So Substack, I have over 6,000 subscribers, and the LinkedIn newsletter, I have over 9,600 subscribers. And normally I showcase the newsletter. All right. I normally do it once a week. However, I've been super duper busy the past couple weeks, so I'm a little bit behind getting my LinkedIn newsletter out, but I'm planning on getting now. I also write for Vista.today, Delco.today, Montco.today, Bucksco.today, and Philadelphia.today. And let's pull up this post that I did. And here's something that Curtis missed. All right. So Curtis and I co-wrote an article. Actually, he did the heavy lifting about pay yourself first. Right. And it was published in all of these magazines. I tagged Curtis right here. But if you look down at the bottom, Curtis did not write a comment. So if somebody tags you in a post, hopefully you're paying attention to your notifications of LinkedIn and you would comment on that post within the first hour, hopefully. I can't always do that, but I try to. So get to it whenever you possibly can.
So it's not
And
too
then
late. I could go back and
it's not too late. Now
okay.
you can also take this post and see this little roundabout thing.
Yep.
You could click on this and you could repost and do your own thoughts. And so my post would be there and you could add on, or you could repost instantly. But I think it's better off that you put your own thoughts in it.
Got it.
Now, when you comment, okay, here, this is 2 words. I'm not a fangirl of that. Okay. Here is, something a little bit more substantial. This is a little bit more substantial. So when you're commenting on people's posts, don't do word, don't do 2 words. I want you to do like 15, 18 words or more. Give some thought leadership. Write a sentence that shows that you are an intelligent human being and it's not AI written. Maybe ask a question. I can't always do that, but it doesn't always work for every single post, but I try. So here, go to my comments. So here, this is always a great event. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. So, and then I tagged Michelle Snow, in my comment. Here, thanks for being the photographer, Haschamala. All right, thanks for the invite back to cover this inaugural presentation. Looking forward to it. So you can see I'm writing something substantial, on these posts. This one, I love this graphic. So here was a repost. There's 35 job boards that this guy put out. And I love the graphic. And I'm like, wow, let me share this with the job seekers in my network and those in the Great Careers Network. And so, try to comment with something substantial. So you can go back, and I'm going to leave this in my featured section for now here, and you can pull that one up and repost that later today, because I have a brand new article that I just wrote about Paoli Hospital expansion that was published today, and I need to put that out. I will do that. Okay, back to you. Now I'm going to go to your contact information section. I love that you have a custom LinkedIn URL, and if people don't have a custom URL, you're going to go to greatcareers.org and type in URL, and you will find a picture of me at LinkedIn in New York City. This is one of my 4 trips to LinkedIn headquarters at the Empire State Building.
Mhm.
And this shows you and has step-by-step instructions and the link of how you can customize your LinkedIn URL. Honestly, it takes 5 seconds, but you have to read the instructions so you know what to do first. But you don't want to have all that gobbledygook, the A1B7594, whatever. You don't want to have that after your LinkedIn. So you want to customize that. Now you have 2 websites here, and then you have a phone number, and then you have your Gmail. That's wonderful. I love in your phone number that you have dashes and not the parentheses.
Mhm.
Parentheses to me is old school when we had rotary phones. Like many people might use dots in between. To me, those are like locators, what is it, record locators, for internet. So I'm really a dash girl, but I don't like to go back old school to rotary phone days when you put parentheses around an area code.
Let me ask you a question. Instead of the static website, let's say I have assessments, a score app, financial freedom assessment that's in the
Yes.
website, but I could make a title and Daniel Priestley said, "Don't sell what you do, sell the assessment for what you do." And I'm
Yes. Let's go back to Charles, because Charles also has an assessment. And Charles, by the way, has given me permission to him on any recorded webinars. So he is down in the Charlotte area. He's a
Mhm.
business and executive coach. So he's been a 2-time client, and he came to me with his about section. It was all paragraphs. Charles, ain't nobody gonna read those paragraphs. It's too dense text, right? My eyes are glazing over. So we changed it to make it all bullet pointy, short and sweet. And see how there's an emoji, ideal client, and it's not in bold. We don't want to use Unicode because Unicode is not readable by LinkedIn. It might be
Mhm.
bold to the human eye, but that's a no-no. Would not recommend it. And it might contain malware. So here, clients' biggest problems, why coaching services are essential, impact of business challenges, why choose me, how it works, take the assessment, bang, 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 bang,
Oh,
that's you,
all
right?
right.
And
Yep.
then we have a stack of contact links. So you'll see that on my profile also that I have a stack of contact links down at the bottom. Now, in case my more gobsmacking resources thing goes away, because LinkedIn did take the ability of changing that away last year, I am now prepared. So here is more gobsmacking resources. I have it right down there, making it big with my trophies because it's that important, that's link of links. It's not just my website. I do lots of other things. And then here's my contact and connect. There's my for-profit business, there's the nonprofit, and then there's the nonprofit website. And then, I like emojis. So, as I said, I'm old AF, old and fun, but I will not be let anybody, say that I'm a technological dinosaur. So where
Mhm.
do I get the emojis from? I go to emojipedia.org, and let's say I wanted to do money. Okay. So there's lots of choices of money. So money with wings, money bag, money mouth, um, hand with index finger, dollar banknote. So let's just go to the money bag. Okay. So all I'm going to do is copy this and paste it. That's it.
Wow.
So they have to be normal emojis that you would find on your phone, but this is the site that I always use for all my emojis, and it's free. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're going to go down here. So here's your about section. The what I do, why it matters, my approach. That's kind of old school. We used to do that on LinkedIn pushing a decade ago. Okay,
That's when I
so
had somebody do this, pushing a decade ago. So that's
mm,
it. So
yeah. Yeah, so you can see, my about section, you can see Charles' about section. Like, do you see the possibilities?
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
you don't want to have all these this my approach, all these paragraphy things. No, I it's too much. But here's the thing: you don't have a space here, right? You should always have a space, and then you have a sentence starting with I, and then you have a sentence starting with I, and then you have a sentence starting with I. I'm going to teach her with the red pen on you on that. Okay. Um, you have to learn how to write without
Be
starting with
any
the word
different than my
I.
wife. That's what my wife and my mother-in-law, who was an English teacher, did. It was, get the red pen out, start to destroy me.
Yes.
So I'm used to this. So,
So, the thing is, you have to make your profile coming from the viewpoint of the person who's reading it. What pain point do you solve? What problem do you solve? How can you help them? It's not about you, it's about what you do to solve somebody else's problems or pain points. So you have to turn the viewpoint around to make it appealing for somebody to want to read. But if you put the emojis in there, it gives a little visual, especially on a mobile device, because we're reading a lot of the profiles on a mobile device. But you've got the thing going on here with the capital letters, so I'll give you a thumbs up on that. All right. Now, you have services, financial planning, strategic planning. So this is probably something you can also clean up,
that's
contact for
definitely incomplete.
pricing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I've never asked anybody for recommendations on my service section, but I coulda, shoulda, woulda. But here, I've added all these services, and again, I made it kind of fun to read, right? So here says what I do, and there's my more section. I do data-driven decision making. I've completed 3 chapters of my doctoral dissertation. I don't think I'm gonna finish it. I'm just too doggone busy. But because I've done, the doctoral research, the doctoral writing, and I also came from K-12, um, I I've been doing data. So we used to have students at the beginning of the school year and each quarter, and we'd measure, 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 measure. And so therefore, you know, uh, I believe in data. I metrics. And I am very transparent with my fees. Okay, so people know what to expect. Now,
Hmm.
here's something exciting that you don't have that I have. I was invited by LinkedIn to be a beta tester on Get Advice from Me. And so I made a really super duper launch price because this is brand new. It's been out for like a week and a half,
Hmm.
2 weeks, something like that, at least to me anyway. So lots of people in the special private group, because they're getting feedback. LinkedIn's getting feedback from the coaches and the people that have this feature. um working out the bugs and trying to perfect it before they roll it out to the masses. But I really like the idea. I think LinkedIn is definitely onto something. um Everybody that I saw had boring black and white paragraphs, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So here, further collaboration is you'll want dinner after the appetizer. So I'm trying to be funny and put a little sense of humor in, but look at that. That's my intro price. And you see all these emojis? Isn't that more fun to read than boring black and white paragraphs? Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going back to you. Here we go. Okay, so we talked about the about section. Now, I love that you have a featured section. That's really important to, put your stuff out there. But see this one, the Path to Lasting Wealth from Forbes, you don't have an image there.
Yeah.
So, normally when I'm doing
Click
Vista
that. Is it
today,
still connected? Because there's an article that was done on me a while ago, and I'm wondering if the article went away, if it goes anywhere, because I haven't been able to find it. 'Cause I was going to feature on my website too. Um,
oh, yeah, right now it's spinning. And so,
Maybe that's
yeah,
why, because it
well,
did work.
So let me just pull up my Canva account. So I'm going to go to projects and let me just go to see all. And I just want to show you an example of the image that I made. Oh, that's DVBC. My projects. Here we go. See all. Oh, wow. I don't know why I'm getting, okay. Let's do, what was it? Pay yourself first. Let me just search for that or go to home. Pay yourself first. Okay. All right. That's not coming up, but you just saw this article, right?
Yeah.
So, this one, when I wrote the article, I needed a rectangle, but I also need something that's going to work for Instagram. So here I take the same picture ish, not with all the people in there, and I put my Substack on there so people know where to go to read, but it's visual just for Instagram. So if you have an article, let's see, let's try something else out here. Um, let's do Paoli Hospital because that's my thing today. So here is the Paoli Hospital expansion. I gave them that image, and then I'm pretty sure that I prepared. Okay, let's try Paoli again. Oh, I'm on the Paoli Business Association, so I don't know why my images are not coming up here. Okay, let's do Annette. I did an article with Annette. Okay, so here's an article that I did with Annette. So I took it and I made it for Instagram, but I also needed one for the article
Hmm.
for Vista today, etc. So you have to be able to, have a platform. And if you pay for the Canva account, then you have much more accessibility and freedom in this of the images. But you could have easily put, an image in there and put the link to the article, in now. You have posts, you have comments, you have videos, okay, you have images, you have articles, you have newsletters, and you have events. Now, you only have one event. Now, for the newsletter, that's typically the one I highlight, but you've got videos here. Maybe you want to highlight the videos. So let me show you how to do that. When I go down to my activity section, here's a little pen here. And see how I'm highlighting newsletters? If I wanted to highlight videos, I'd just click on that and I'd click save. So whatever your jam is, like I write long form. That's all right. Going back because I know
Heard that LinkedIn is not really video driven. Like they're moving there, but that's not really their
they were testing all kinds of video things on the platform, but the algorithm keeps changing. Here's somebody that I highly recommend that everybody follows if they want to learn a lot about LinkedIn,
hmm
is Richard Vanderblom. He's from the Netherlands, but he's in Spain. He has over a 250,000 LinkedIn followers. And you
Hmm.
see how he has greater Valencia metropolitan area?
Yeah.
Do you think that, let's say whatever it was, Madrid or Valencia or whatever the city was, do you think he would have a city in there or a major metropolitan area? There's Lansdowne, Greater Philadelphia thing. Get rid of the Lansdowne. But this guy puts out really great content, and I learn a lot from him. And so if you have 150 euros or something like that and want to buy his algorithm report, he's got that available to sell. So he features, this in his posts. But he used to do lots and lots of documents. These are like carousels. That's what they're
hmm
called. So it's
hmm
like a deck, right? And you can see. I've learned so much from what his stuff is. Another person that I love and highly recommend you follow is Kevin Turner. Now, his LinkedIn URL is kind of funny. It's president. Okay. So he snagged that one before anybody else. Brilliant, right? Um, he has all the newest, latest, and greatest things going on in LinkedIn. And he's also one of these get advice from me beta users. He's a train the trainer kind of person. He's respected internationally. When people find new things on LinkedIn, he publishes them and gives people credit. So, but right now he's got his images. He's highlighting his images. In the
hmm
past, he's highlighted his videos. He's got a really great YouTube channel if you tap into that and want to learn a lot of LinkedIn tips. So I have great respect for him. All right, back to you. Here you have financial representative, Alpha Omega Wealth, okay, and Las Vegas. And that's very paragraphy. I would do that differently. And then you have President Practical Wealth Solutions. Why don't you have a LinkedIn company page?
I don't know.
So, yeah, you need to get a logo in there,
Yeah.
right? So again, I'm going to take you to greatcareers.org and I'm going to type in company. So down here is establish and leverage your LinkedIn company page for self-employment. So here, look at this step-by-step instructions right there. And that is one of the workshops that I am teaching August 25th, I think, for SCORE Silicon Valley.
Hmm.
So I've been on the SCORE Speakers Bureau since 2013, but I speak for SCORE Silicon Valley in the Bay Area. I speak for SCORE Jacksonville in Florida, as well as my local, Chester, Delaware County SCORE, which is now called Delaware Valley. And a lot of times when I speak for SCORE, they hook up with Widener University's SBDC. So I normally speak for them like a couple times a year. But anyway, here I would redo all of that. You
hmm
have education, great. You have projects. Where's your skills? So I have to, I was grappling 7 months as to whether or not I should remove some skills. I had some skills, 16 skills that had over 100 endorsements each.
Mm.
And finally, last weekend, I removed them and I put in a whole bunch of new skills. Why? Because you can have up to 100 skills. So let me hold on. Let me refresh because mine didn't
So a
come up
skill
either.
would be so like I help people, we'll do a service called the money organization plan. So I help people find money they're losing unknowingly and unnecessarily through a system of cash flow control. And
Hmm.
I analyze their debt, their taxes, so the skill is though I'm good at reading your numbers and finding money. Like, is that a
Hmm.
that's a but could I if I could
Yeah.
connect that,
No.
that'd be a skill.
The answer is no.
Okay.
LinkedIn is a database. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to see, I have 99 skills. If
Yeah.
I'm going to add one more, I'm going to click the plus sign and financial we're looking for strategists, right? Here you've got
Your financial
strategic
management.
financial management,
Yeah.
financial planning,
No, the bottom
financial
one. Yeah.
structuring, turnaround management. You want to choose from this drop
I
down
got it.
menu. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I did financial structuring and I click save, let me show you where that happens. Now I'm going to have 100 skills, and
Huh.
that's at the top, but I don't do financial structuring. So I'm going to click on this, and now I'm going to go to financial structuring, and I'm going to delete it in the bottom left. So if some folks have some bad skills that are not in the database, I would delete them. Boom. Now, if you do have skills and you want the top two showing, you're going to click on the little three little dots here. You're going to click on reorder. And we've got hamburgers on the right. So if I want job search strategies or, LinkedIn training, or I'm going to go back to my original, and there's no save button. So I can structure what top two are shown right here when people come to my profile.
Hmm.
But for job seekers, this is super important because LinkedIn Recruiter and LinkedIn Recruiter Lite, when people are using that database to find people, they're looking for skills. So if I tried to put in SOP, standard operating procedure, nowhere do you see those three letters in and of itself.
Yeah.
You see this one, that's the one you're going to choose, but you don't have authority to add to LinkedIn's database. Now, since I showed you that feature, I'm going to show you one more. In the experience section, you can see I have job titles. I'm an entrepreneur. I can do whatever I want. I'm not searching for a job. So I have what it is that I do. Can you see this for yourself? You wear one hat, you wear another hat, you wear another hat, you wear another hat, right? So
Yeah.
I can bring all the four things together because there wasn't enough room for me to put everything all in one work experience. And this is called an embellished job title. But if you want to be found for something, here's the plus sign. I'm going to add a new role. And if I want financial, you have to choose one of these if you want to, or you can do what I do and make up your own, but it's not like searchable. But here I had a client who was project manager 3. Well, see, it looks like it's in the drop down menu because I typed it. It really isn't. Let's back it up a little bit. Project manage. These are the ones that I want to choose from. So I have a client who got doged from USAID. She had really, really long government titles. She's not going to get found by that. So
Hmm.
we put that really long job title in the first bullet point of her LinkedIn experience, comma, acting as a blah, 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 long job title. And we changed it to program analyst or program manager, right? Because that's the civilian ease that she wanted to be found for. Believe it or
Hmm.
not, in Washington, D.C., with all those people that got doged, she landed in 2 months. So it's really important that you do the drop down, especially if you are a job seeker, if you want to be found. Now, I'm going to pull up somebody else that has given me permission to do her, to share her to share her profile. So here's Valerie. Now, this is a job seeker, but she's no longer a job seeker. But this is like the top of the resume, my 4 sentence starters. We make it
Hmm.
human. We put some, icebreakers in there. I don't put quite as many core competencies in as I used to. I do like a tech stack. Normally, I do everything alphabetical order, but she wanted to showcase SharePoint and Tableau. Okay, she can take the sentences out because she got hired back at Bristol Myers Squibb. But here's what I want to show you. Um, this is how, whether you are an entrepreneur, somebody who's employed, a business owner, or a job seeker, I believe in metrics. Let's share impact. How did you help a company make money, save time, improve processes? You worked in a 253-bed hospital. You helped clients save $5 million. You work with over 500 clients. Like, give me, how you move the pendulum. So here, created, managed, oversaw, identified 30, 30, 17, 150. Okay.
Hmm.
That tells us how many. So that's why I don't believe in paragraphs. When I write resumes, I don't put the descriptor of the company or the descriptor of the job responsibilities. I go straight to the bullet points. I write resumes for LinkedIn, but I do this with entrepreneurs also. So I wasn't making people do metrics in their bullet points in the past. Like if you go to Charles, you're not going to see metrics. It's
Hmm.
just too tough of a job market right now. And I make everybody do metrics. So, even people who are employed, hey, I need to beef up my personal brand. And I'm bare bones on LinkedIn. So let's put some meat on the bones.
In hearing this, I'll tell you, I'm thinking about I have my oldest daughter is 25. She's living in New York City. And
Mm-hmm,
she'll go on, she's got a job now, but 5 years, but she's got more to offer than what she's doing, in my opinion. And
mm-hmm.
I think this is she don't know none of this because I don't know none of this, right? And I would pay for her to fix her stuff for me
Yeah.
as her dad.
Yeah, if people want to know, I could see I'm very about my budget. If you budget in the area of 6-ish hours, okay, per person, I do things a little bit differently. I don't do done for yous. I do done
Hmm.
with yous. So
Hmm.
I'm a former teacher. I want you to know how to drive the stick shift of your job search, your client search, whatever it may be. And we meet on Zoom. I teach a lesson. You have homework. We meet on Zoom. I teach a lesson. You have homework. So that way, you know how to operate your LinkedIn profile. So when we have like for example with Valerie, okay, we had to go back and quantify from the beginning of time, and it's hard. It's like it's a love-hate relationship. You will
Right.
hate working with me because I make you do hard work, but in the end you will love me because you never ever have to go back and quantify that stuff ever again. But you've learned the lesson that for next year's performance review with your employer, you now know how to keep track of metrics on a regular basis because you're going to update that on your LinkedIn profile and your resume. So you're always doing career management.
Right.
But this can happen for, small business owners and entrepreneurs too. So there's a lot of LinkedIn profile writers who don't do resumes. And
Hmm.
I think they're missing that pieces of what a resume writer and LinkedIn profile writer does. And it is about quantifying dollar, number, percent. How did you move mountains, make impact? Um, Now, the guy that built our website, our nonprofit website, he didn't build the website, he designed the website. Oh my goodness. Let me try it again. Here it is. Okay, so I want to show you a couple other techniques. He's a graphic designer, so he designed his own thing. But here, what is he? A creative director, brand development, keyword, visual storytelling, keyword, art
Hmm.
direction designs, keyword. There's
Hmm.
his USP. I help waters rise so brands can make waves. Now, he changed the top of this, but anyway, it is what it is. But here is another technique. Here's all his brands. Here's all his industries. So these are all in alphabetical order. So if you've worked with big brands and have collaborations, hey, you got to toot your horn. But
Mhm.
here, as a business owner, an agency owner, creative designer, founded, served, achieved, created, spearheaded, concepted, launched, developed, orchestrated. Every single verb is different. You don't want to have manage, 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 manage. You could have managed, led, supervised, oversaw, change it up.
Let
But
me ask you this. So when you're doing it, sorry to cut you off, things come
yeah,
to my mind. So it's a landing page. So now it's it's two things I'm seeing. People, if they search me, they're usually this profile is going to come up and then they can research me, or if they're looking for something, that's where the keywords come up. If they're searching, how do I blah, and then I may come up in their search.
so here, if I searched for, I'm going to put a quote in, financial strategist and debt. So
Yeah.
I want somebody who's a financial strategist and also does debt. And now I can go to I want people. And where do I want them? I want them in the greater Philadelphia area. So this is the database, right? And here are the people that are coming up. And that's not Curtis.
Huh. Hmm.
Okay. So keywords, that's my jam. That's why I do data driven decision making. So that's the part that I never ever teach publicly. That's my secret sauce. So I have a color coding system. We look and examine your existing LinkedIn keywords. We do a brain dump of hundreds of keywords. And then if you're a job seeker, we will do a red, a pink, a purple, a green job, and we extract keywords different ways from that. And then when I mash all this together, we quantify these numbers. I will have a list of most to least, and I
Hmm.
will have a list of alphabetical. And let me see if I can pull something up without, I'll just show you the end result. I'll pull up creative. So I'm very methodical about my system. So here, for example, you see Adobe Creative Suite. That was on his LinkedIn profile. It was in 4 jobs that he wanted to apply to. Here's
Hmm.
Adobe Illustrator. It was in 3 jobs he wanted to apply to, but not on LinkedIn. Maybe we better get it there. Adobe
Hmm.
InDesign, same thing, in 3 jobs, but it's not, on LinkedIn. Maybe we better get it there. And when you see these frequent flyer words, this is where it's like, okay, this needs to go at the top of my LinkedIn profile, the top of my resume. But look at all these other words. See this list over here. We're culling the list after we analyze our data. And here's another word: brand development, brain dump, 4 jobs, not on LinkedIn. So this is what gives us the data to know the strategies of where we're going to go with the keywords. I'm all about the keywords. People are
Right.
still searching for keywords.
See, I love
So,
that because you want to attract your ideal client, not chase them down, not,
mhm.
like to interrupt the calling people you don't know or didn't ask to talk to you. So, um,
So every month I run a recruiter on call with jobs.
mhm.
And it's my LinkedIn live, and it also streams to my YouTube. So if you watch this July 16th one, this is Cabriel Bradley, and she works for PPL, the utility company up in
Mhm.
the Allentown area. And if you listen to this recording, she says, "Yes, I search for keywords." And I'm like, "Yes, yes." You just, you're telling me, you know, why what I do makes sense and is important. So, when I ask questions to these recruiters, they not prompted, with the answers in any way, shape, or form. So I
Mhm.
love it when they say something. It's like, yes, that's why I do what I do. So, you've been shredded, and you can make, whoops, I don't have you up
I
anymore,
feel good. I'm like,
but
okay, I
you
got,
can make a lot of improvements.
yeah.
Um, and the reason that I do what I do is I like it individualized. Everybody is individual. So
All right.
I don't scale my business. I'm not looking to be a big business. I'm a hand holder, and I like to work with people one on one. That's what makes me happy. as a nonprofit servant leader, let me go to the nonprofit page. Here's the events. Okay. We
Mm-hmm.
have, here's me speaking at the Princeton Public Library on Monday, harnessing AI for smarter job searches. Could you learn something from going to that, even though you're not a job seeker? You betcha you can. Okay. Here's another subject matter expert speaker. Here, this one I'm speaking for the women's media group. Well, maybe you got to pay $10 for it or 15, I guess, as a non-member. But are you trying to get, hobnob with media people? Maybe you want to attend that. You never know. And then here is business charisma and sales. This is the Thought Leadership Branding Club that I was telling you about. And this is a community that I've been in for, what, 4.5, 5.5 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have a lot of events on our website, and they're either our events or they're affiliate events. So if you don't see a ticket, you have to open it up and go get the link in the very first line. But this is what we do as a nonprofit. So we try to do. Let me pull the nonprofit up again. I accidentally got off the site. So we try to do things at a price that is affordable. Okay. But we have, like any business, we have expenses.
Right.
We have free stuff. We have free networking events online or hybrid and Paoli. But if you want to buy monthly, it's $17 a month. But if you buy yearly, you know what? It's $8.08 a month for all those events, 18 to 25 events. So it comes out to about 40 cents an event, and you're supporting a 501c3 nonprofit that helps support others. And it's a pretty tough job market this year. We also have sponsor us. So if somebody wanted to, be a sponsor, we put them on the nonprofit website, and that backlink on a
Mm-hmm.
nonprofit website definitely has some value to it. But people can make donations also if they want to sponsor a job seeker. So check out the website greatcareers.org. We've been around here. Let me pull up the meetup.
I listen, that is Fox, you gotta be somewhere. You got to get yourself business is a contact sport, right? And
Oh
so
yeah.
I'm glad you showed me those events because I used to do that earlier in my career. When COVID happened, I kind of got out of it. And but just this week I've tended to and got, some good leads to just being out there pressing the flush. I've got a lot to say. One was a cigar thing last night, and
Yep.
it's just different stuff, but you got to get out
You
there,
got to
but you
talk to
got
people.
something to say. You got to talk to people. And now this is part of okay, because you can even I saw this, I don't know how to do it anymore, but you could do like had QR codes to the business card. I saw where you could do it directly into LinkedIn. And
Oh yeah.
can you show that?
I'll show you that in just a second. Let
Okay.
me cover the meetup. So here you see our meetup has 7,855 members. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have almost 6,700 ratings. And then all our events are on here, but we send people to our website. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
We send people to our website to register. But we've had over 49,000 RSVPs since we've begun. And
Wow.
we've run over 6,700 events on the meetup. So, we're not getting off this platform. But again, you do have to register on our website because some things are behind the paywall. Yes, you have to pay the cup of coffee a month to
Right.
support the
Right.
nonprofit. Okay.
Which is
Now,
nothing. I mean, that's deductible. It's
yeah.
an investment of your time to get how, like where does your coach will say, look, who's your ideal client? And
Mm-hmm.
marketing is kind of like fishing. Where are the fish? You know, and
So if
you
you
know,
you want a QR code, okay,
hmm
I'm going to show you how to do it for free with a really great little tool.
hmm
So I'm going to go on Google and I'm going to type in QR code monkey. And this is a workshop I teach for called Snazzy Graphics, how to create snazzy graphics for social media step by step. Now, we don't want this QRFY. We want this one down here. So those are all sponsored. we're getting this for free. So don't make people pay to click, right? Let's
Right.
go down to here. See, this one says QR code dash monkey. So I'm going to click on this. Now, see, it's driving you to QR code monkey.
Mm-hmm.
So if I did HTTPS greatcareers.org, I want to drive people to the nonprofit website. If I want to do the colors, let's just choose 19B CCE. There, I love turquoise. And then logo image. Well, if I wanted to add my company logo, I could do that. But I can also, if you're a job seeker or, whatever, I'm going to go to my iCloud drive and I'm going to go to photographs. And these are the ones that Anne Marie Casey in Bryn Mawr took. So photo. Here we go. See, photos by AMC, Anne Marie Casey. So I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick. I took one and I made it a circle. All
Mm-hmm.
right, and then I can come down here and I can customize my design. So if I don't want the big chunks, I can click these little dots. And now I'm going to click on create QR code and bada bing, bada boom, I have my colors, I have my picture or my business logo, and I can download the PNG. And so I can put that on LinkedIn. You never want to put your LinkedIn URL on your LinkedIn banner because people are already on your profile. But if they're
Right.
on LinkedIn, you want to drive them to a website or an assessment. Okay. Take the free assessment, boom, QR code, the link right there. That's what you can do. And then you can just add that to Canva. Um, Look at that. I just did that for free.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, let me tell you, we got to wrap up, but she literally gave y'all a master class. Like if you're Lynn, this is so powerful. I'm gonna put this two places. It's gonna be a podcast. I'm gonna make it a podcast, visual podcast, and we have a separate playlist called the Small Business Owner Spotlight. And you
Mm-hmm.
deserve both. I'm gonna feature you on both because this was
Well,
off the
thank
chain.
you.
And we might get you back like once a quarter. So I want to. So let me tell you something. I'm hiring her. I don't get it twisted. And we gotta follow some of this stuff. I appreciate this stuff. I'm like follow you around like a little puppy, right? And so wherever you are, Curtis is gonna be in the audience also, right? And I'm gonna be like a stalker, but you gotta get because when I go to meetups that we're in or and I sit down with them or like when I'm looking at people's your cash flow, so we start with cash flow. So when I see a business owner and their cash flow either making money but they don't know where their money goes, so that's Curtis the financial strategist, right? Find more money, keep more of what you earn, more what you keep. But
Mm-hmm.
when I see your P&L, I see because if your income is up and down, you got a marketing problem, you got a pricing problem, you have an attraction problem because you don't have enough lead flow, and you don't know how. Because see, most business owners are good at the thing they do. You could be a great lawyer, but in law school, they don't teach you how to get clients to perform
It's
law. It's the
yes,
marketing, right?
yes,
Marketing,
yes.
like I'm following Dan Kinney says, listen, you're in the marketing business. You have to be a marketer of the thing, not just a doer of the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the missing piece in a real simple tool. And then there's other things you can span out from that. Like if you go like networking is a thing, LinkedIn, you could do strategic alliances. Like so, a lot of times when I go to networking events, I look for strategic alliances. I don't necessarily look for clients, right? Because you go to a chamber event, everybody's there to network, but nobody's there to buy anything. So you shouldn't go there to sell anything, right? You should go there. And when I go, I'm thinking about how can question I'll ask this is from Bob Berg and his referrals. How do I know if I'm talking to a good client for you, right? So how can my coach says I have two jobs is to meet with my ideal client and make my ideal client's life better, right? So when I
Mm-hmm.
sit down with somebody, that is our objective. And so for the business owners, listen, it's rough out there. For your job seekers, it's rough
Oh
out
yeah.
there, right? So you
Yeah.
need all the edges you can get.
I'm going to show you one more thing, if that's all
Okay.
right. I just refreshed and your skills did come up. You only have 23 of them. So it's an opportunity cost that you're not using all 100. So
Mm-hmm.
you put in ALM, right? That's not in LinkedIn's database.
I don't
So
even know what
here
that
it
is.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
asset and
okay.
liability management. You have to choose this one. So that word's not doing you any good. Nobody knows what that is.
I
So
more of
that's
what I do. Like, click. Okay. Yes. And if anybody
okay.
search, I don't know if everybody search for that. Okay.
This is what we do. We do spring cleaning in the winter, fall, summer, any time of the
Mm-hmm.
year. And we clean up and analyze your LinkedIn skills. And that's part of that whole data driven decision making. And that's why I have no website. All my work comes in word of mouth referrals from speaking and writing.
Right.
And because I have my secret sauce that I reserve for clients, I share what I can to help people as a servant leader of a nonprofit. But,
Right.
girls got to eat too. So,
And so here's what I found teaching sells. Like, if you will educate people, like, if y'all listen to this, you like, oh my, if you fix this, what kind of money that would make you. So she
yeah.
just taught you stuff you could do. But if you're like me, it's like, I don't feel like all this stuff. I'd rather have it be done for me, but I will do with you thing. But that's some of you, you could listen to this video, go to her classes
Yeah. And
and
many are free.
most of y'all have time, right? So if you don't have a lot of stuff going on, you got time to kind of dig in and figure this stuff out because
Mm-hmm.
money follows skills. Like you look at the richest man and not rich man, rich dad, think and grow rich, right? How do you
Mm-hmm.
grow your business? It's you got to have a chief definite aim. So you got to have something you want that's a burning desire. But then it's like the 17 skills, but the skills that jump out to me are organized planning, specialized knowledge, and accurate thinking. Okay. And people love
Mm-hmm.
that. They don't like that one, because people want to, if you do what you love and the money will follow. Okay, whatever.
I'm not sure in this economy. You have to
Yeah,
market yourself.
that's nonsense. I
So,
think it's nonsense. You got to do what the
so
market.
you see in the I have LinkedIn Premium and I have the rotating banner and it does
Yeah.
it on its own, but I put those banners up there. So you see the first one is the career readiness camp for high school and college students. Well, if you're looking for an internship as a college student or you're just graduated, you've got this degree or these certifications and these skills that you've been taught, but you don't know how to market yourself
Yeah.
and you haven't been taught that. This is what's not taught,
Yeah.
in college. And so I have clients who are MDs, DOs, PhDs, ESQs, JDs, all the way down to Lynn, take care of my kids. So,
Is these
my
camps for the kids?
I doing one on a Saturday in August that's virtual, and the other one is in Paoli. So
That's why I asked. This is personal. This is, I always tell people these shows are a free consultant for me. I have a 15-year-old
yeah.
that if it's, I thought it was a summer thing, but I would like to get her on one of these things this summer, bring it into our office, about, really right now she's helping my wife and her law practice. And my
Hmm.
middle door is going to go to law school. So I'm trying to get her to
Oh wow.
create SOPs because you have all this. Oh, I typed it all down. No, I need you to record Loom videos. So if I bring somebody else in, we don't drop off and your mother's got to take 3 more months to find somebody as good as you, right? So I'm trying to do that, but I want to get my 15-year-old who's smart, right, pretty, and but we got to work on those soft skills and thinking like that because now she wants to work because she likes to shop.
Word, yes. Well, there are soft skills that are transferable skills that you have to do, but
Yeah,
you also have to plan for your hard skills because that's what you're going to be found. If you want me to talk about insurance, I can spell it, right? If you want me to talk about money and financial stuff, I can spell it. Well, I can maybe a little bit more because I was a business major.
right.
But that's not my jam. Now you want me to talk
But
about
that's my jam. So you
construction.
can bring me
Yeah,
in.
exactly,
So, yeah,
exactly. So, but I was in the construction industry for 14 years. I was in the
right,
real estate industry for 4 years. So if people want to pivot, I'm going to say pivot is when you're staying in the same industry doing a different role, or reinvention is when you want to do something new, like, you know, for profit to nonprofit, business owner to W 2, or vice
right,
versa, like,
right.
military to higher ed, whatever it may be. But when you are a student, you don't know because you haven't been taught. in the way of doing career documents and career management. So that's what my
So high
team
school
program is.
target for that. High school, if you're in
Yes.
college.
Yes. Now,
Okay.
I wrote a grant. I don't know if it'll be accepted or not, but I did write a grant. If somebody is willing to, sponsor underserved youth, I'd be willing to put a program together. And if it's within a 2 hour drive of Paoli, I will go to them if they have a population in need. But I can also do things online. So, variety of things.
Let's talk
I do
about that. We'll
things
talk about that.
virtually. Yeah,
Okay.
I do things virtually as well as online. So
Lynn,
thank
I
you so
love
much
that.
for having me.
Yeah, listen, thank you. Right. And and we met at this meetup we go to, Delco meetup, shout out. And I should take a picture for the we get these little stars if we meet. This is bigger than one on
There
one,
you
but
go.
I'm gonna take a screenshot. All right, here we go. And post it somewhere. And the uh but that's out networking. And I heard her, I was like, I gotta get with her. She gives us a little handout where it's like all these events. I'm like, what? And I'm finally you broke it down where to find all this stuff because I was like deer in headlights. But that's you gotta be
It's a lot. I do a lot.
yep.
There's
And
nobody that's crazy as me, working at the office till 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. But, this is what I do
what do you
because I'm
call it?
running
O
two businesses.
OAF and fun? What is it? What did you say?
I'm old
Oh
and
yeah,
fun.
right. So it's
Yeah.
fun, not as
Yes.
the other F.
Yes.
But
Not the other one.
right. Listen,
Anyway, I will not be at Delco Meets for Business
right.
this Tuesday because I'm at another event. And I will not be there the following Tuesday
Hmm.
because I will be at Disney. I am a Disney nerd. You see my
There you
Mickey
go.
ears in the
Yep.
corner up
Yep.
there.
Good point.
And then if, we have people coming to the career readiness camp the following week, I won't be there, but it depends if anybody signs up or not. So it
Okay.
may be a few weeks before I
Let's see
see
if we can
you
help
in.
promote that. And I gotta rearrange my schedule. I might go to the thing Tuesday you're going to. I think I
Awesome.
know everybody at the other thing. I just already got
Yeah,
client
yeah.
meetings, but I might rearrange it or push them back an hour or so. I got enough time.
Awesome. Awesome.
Listen, thank you for your time. I feel if we had you back, we could do another hour of stuff that you didn't cover today. I mean, so we could do a one
I
once.
I can do LinkedIn company pages. I can do snazzy graphics. It's kind of what I do with SCORE.
Yeah.
And most of the SCORE
I
events are
need to
free.
get back
So,
onto the score docket. I hadn't taught a
mhm.
score. I used to teach a score, but I have probably taught during like 15 years. And at least 10. And I like teaching, and I like that population. And I think, we have some unique things to share with them to
Yeah.
kind of keep them thrive, because I tell people when we do our profit lab, the purpose of business, guys, is to make the owner rich or financially
Hmm.
free, whatever your definition of that is. But
Yep.
don't get it twisted. Like, don't, you'll get commentary from people that because the world, I hate to say, hates business owners. Like they're evil, they're not doing this, they're not paying their fair share, all that BS, right? And so you've got to, get around some people that support you, what you do mentally and just philosophically, so that, you don't feel like you're out there like the Lone Ranger. And because there's a lot of, people in your community. So I just want to share that.
Yep.
I think you have to bounce. I got another meeting, but this has been awesome. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.